are back and we're gonna make some, what I call shepherd's pie. Might not be what everybody else calls it, but it's what I call it. And, okay, so what I've done is I have made 2 packs of these instant mashed potatoes. This is what I had in my pantry, so that's what I'm using. I'm using stuff that I have. So I've made 2 packs of these mashed potatoes over here. And then I had this from where we did our grocery haul back in the spring. So I made 3 cups of brown gravy. Okay, I've got a couple bags of mixed vegetables out of the freezer. And then we've got our cheese that we had earlier, and we've got our onion and our burger. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to mix the burger, the veggies, the gravy all up in a bowl, and the onion, all up in a bowl, and then we will put that in the baggie with the mashed potatoes on top, so that when we get ready to pull it out and put it in the crock pot, we just, again, cut the bag off of the mill, set the mill down in said crock pot, and then let it cook all day. So let's start with our meat here. You can do about a pound, you can do a pound and a half, you can do 2 pounds, you do however much you think your family's gonna need. Now, putting the veggies in, I've learned growing up and cooking and learning how to cook and living off a budget, that putting in some mixed veggies kind of helps the meat go further. I am going to do a whole bag. I normally just do half bag, but because we have a 3rd child now, we're going to do a whole bag. And because I want everybody to get full. I don't want them to be like, this is your portion and that's all you get. Also, when school's in session, our kids take their own lunches. Otherwise, we have to pay for school lunch. So often they will take whatever I make in the freezer pre-make, or if we want to make a sandwich that day or something. But they'll take leftovers a lot. So if I make quite a bit, it'll all get eaten. And if there's leftovers, I'm going to use about half of this. If there's leftovers, they will take it for lunch. All right, there's that. I need a big old spoon to stir with. Let me get some of these potatoes off of here. My gravy out of the way because I again couldn't see the onion, so I forgot about it. Look at me spill onions all over the table. For some flavor. Now I already seasoned the meat. No, I didn't. What am I talking about? I seasoned the mashed potatoes. We need some seasoning and some flavor up in here. I might have seasoned not too much. Now I gotta sneeze. Okay, mix this up real good. The gravy is hot right now, but it's cooled off putting the cold vegetables in here and the cold meat, because that's the meat we cooked earlier today. You could, if you wanted to make this into like a pan that you would pop into the oven instead of using the crock pot, you could do that. Just mix it up just like this. Put it in the pan, put the potatoes on top, put the pan in the freezer, you know, covered with foil and stuff. But, woo! See that? That came outside the bowl. But we're not doing that. We're doing crock pot style. So, what I'm going to do is dump this in here. How? How? I don't know. I'm going to get my handy dandy pitcher. That's how. Let me start out by just a few scoops like this, so I'm not picking this heavy bowl up, making a big old mess. Try to save myself a little. This smells so good, I want to eat it right now. Okay? That's not bad. Now, where's that spoon I was using? Oh, duh. will be a little interesting. Let's just put some potatoes. We're gonna use about half because I made 2 packages. I just doubled, like the gravy, I made 3 cups, and so 1.5 cups of gravy, and then one package of taters, so about half of the potatoes in the pan will be for each meal, okay? So I'm going to spread these around here like so. This is too hot for me to zip, okay? I don't want to be zipping it right now, but you get the gist of it, right? Okay, pretty much we're gonna let this cool, see? And then I'm going to fold it in half, and when we get ready to pull this out of the freezer, we'll cut the bag off of it and we will set it down into the crock pot just like this. And then we'll have breakfast casserole. Breakfast casserole, shepherd's pie. I got that breakfast casserole in the brain. Let's put a little cheese on the top. Not a lot, just a little. You can put a lot if you want to. But I heard somebody say cheese is for rich people. I think I agree with that. And I ain't rich. All right, I'm gonna set this off to the side. The meat is cold, but the potatoes are still a little warm. I did let them cool off, but they're still a little warm. I don't want to quite buckle the bag or zip the bag just yet. Just gonna set that there, and then we're gonna do a whole nother round. Okay, now this will take up a lot more space in your freezer than just lying it flat or maybe putting it in a casserole dish. But I don't really care. For me, this is how I want to do it. And I want to be able to put it in the crock pot from frozen and it still come out okay. Which it'll come out fine. I still don't think I want to zip that just yet. My taters are too hot. But when I zip it, some of the gravy might get up onto the potatoes. It's fine. It'll be fine. Oh, I forgot some cheese. Let's put some cheese. Let's put the rest of the cheese. That's all the cheese, folks. 1 block of cheese. All right, let's see. Let's clean this up and then we'll see what's next. All right, the next thing we're gonna make is chicken and gravy. So we've got one of these huge bags of chicken that I got back in the spring. And we're gonna use a can of cream of chicken, some sour cream, which I took out of the freezer, had it in this little baggie, and some milk. You can put some onion in it, you can put some seasoning in it if you want. That's all. We're gonna start with the cream of chicken. This is delicious, if I didn't say already. I may have already said, but I love this meal. Everybody in my family loves this meal. Little milk. I don't know how much. Just pour it until it's like a gravy, till it makes your heart happy. Some sour cream. I'm gonna do about half of that because I'm using the other half for the next batch. Some seasoning. Some onions. Just for S&Gs. Then you get your little baggie here. Get you some chicken. This is some huge pieces of chicken. Oh my gosh, and they're like all frozen together. Ugh. That's not happening. All right. It'll fit in my crock pot. That's all I need now. All right, 1, 2 huge pieces, 3 huge pieces. I think that will do us. Okay. That's 3 huge pieces of chicken. And you just pour this gravy in it. Chicken and gravy. Next, we're gonna do it again. That is delicious. I can't wait to have that. That's probably gonna be the first thing I pull out of the freezer to have. It does take up a lot of space in your freezer in that manner, but I don't care. Let's see. Whenever I put that into the crock pot, when I don't have it all mixed together like that in the freezer, I just take the frozen chicken breasts out of the bag, throw them in the crock pot, take 5 minutes to mix me up some gravy like this. Let it cook on low all day. You'll come home to a house that smells fantabulous. Where did I put that thing? Oh, there. And a crock pot full of yummy goodness. A little bit of milk. Till your heart's happy. Some seasoning. Put whatever you like. I use this Nature Seasons. Y'all have seen me use this before if you've been here before. If not, this is what I use. Nature Seasons. It's got a little bit of everything in it. Salt, black pepper, sugar, spices, onion, garlic, parsley, celery seed, I guess. Whatever. Oh, it smells so good already. Oh, don't forget the onion. Look at me stirring it up in here like it really matters. I got one shelf in my I have got one shelf in my stand-up freezer cleared for all of these, but with some of these getting fatter and taller, I might need to put some in my deep freezer, which is fine. I've got room in those. Now, this again has a huge chicken breast and it's medium size. So there's 2, and that's my 3rd. So I got that in there. Might need Justin's help. Babe, can you help me pour this in here? You can pour or you can hold. Oh, that was close.
Smells good.
I know, it smells so good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
If you did want to cook it this evening, you could probably just put it in the oven. Even from frozen, you could put it in the oven. Cook it for an hour. I mean, it's gonna be just the same. You know, I have like a 1 hour across the board, what do they call that? Black label rule of thumb. Put it in the oven for an hour. $3.50 for an hour, whatever. Chicken and gravy. And look, I don't know if this is out of frame or not. Take it out, cut the bag off. Fits right in the crock pot. Put the lid on, 8 hours, yum. 8 to 10 hours, be fine. Okay. What's next on the list? Justin was so nice. He did the dishes from this morning. All right, next is, let me roll over here to where my chicken's at. I got my chicken and gravy. Now, I was gonna tell you guys, whenever I make chicken and gravy, I usually serve it with mashed potatoes because that gravy on top of the chicken and the mashed potatoes is fabulous. All right. All right, we're gonna do ranch chicken and green beans, okay? We got us a little baggie here. I got my ranch, got my onion. I have a bag of green beans from the garden. And I have chicken. got butter. It's amazing what happens when you take clean dishes out of the dishwasher and the spoon jar ends up full again. Ta-da! All right, so I'm using this bag of chicken tenders that we had down in the freezer. Maybe. I kind of quit using the chicken tenders because the tender was nasty to bite into. But we're using it now. Okay? So let's do 1, 2, that's kind of small, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got hungry kids. 7. Let me wash my hands. Whole bag of green beans. A bunch of ranch. A bunch of whatever seasoning you prefer. Some onion. Don't forget to make a mess. Some butter. However much you want. You still have cardiac arrest all up in there. It's fine. Clog some arteries. More the better. Actually, this is plant butter with olive oil that I got on my Ibotta for free. Might be better for you. Might not. I don't know. I don't really care. I'm going to use it. Now you got ranch chicken and green beans. You don't really need liquid because the chicken will have enough liquid cook out of it, as will the green beans. Because they're frozen. There we go. Ranch, chicken, and green beans. Check. Let me get a little bit of this cleaned up and we'll see what else we can get into. Now I'm gonna do kind of like a meal kit-ish kind of thing. We're going to make some beef fajitas. So I have some bell peppers that we grew in our garden. I have sliced some onion up instead of taking it out of where I've diced it at. I have sliced some onion up. I'm gonna use, I don't have like a packet of fajita seasoning. And you know, I think I remember using that one time and I didn't really like it anyway. So I'm going to use this steak seasoning from the Aldi. Then I'll put a little bit of my nature seasons on there. And then I've got these packs from the butcher called beef fajita strips. So I'm gonna put a couple, I'm gonna put some of my bell peppers and onions down in here. Now when we eat these, I'm gonna be the only one that eats the bell peppers and onions. Everybody else is gonna eat the fajitas. So what they'll probably do is take like a hoagie bun or something, and hot dog bun in our house, and put these beef strips on it, probably with like some cheese, like a Philly cheese kind of, without the potatoes and onions, without the bell peppers and onions. But you gotta cook it with the onions and the bell peppers for the flavor. All right, let's just do that. Wipe on my apron because that's what it's there for. We'll put some of this, close that sissy side and put us some steak seasoning on here. Whoa! That'll be nice and heartburny. Some nature seasons. And then I'm just gonna put 2 bags of this beef fajita strips in here. So whenever we get ready to put this in the crock pot, like if I'm not home, if Justin's throwing it in the crock pot or something, all that has to be done, take these out, cut the package off of this fajita meat, dump it and the onions and everything in there. He doesn't have to worry about following a recipe or nothing. He can just dump it in. Dump and go. What's up? You need something? Justin's standing behind the camera giving me a look. Oh. Justin's gonna go out the garage door, guys. It'd be fine. You may go. I'm gonna make 2 of these. All right, let's see what's next. Besides the fact that I gotta sneeze now. Yeah. We got our beef fajitas done. Oh, I poked a hole in that and stabbed my finger. All right, I was gonna make some regular like beef chili, but I haven't got the chili beans because I have my list of things I need to get at the store for some of the recipes that I needed, and I hadn't made it to the store yet. So, just gonna make some sausage, gravy, and bread. I need some sausage. I think I've used up all of our sausage, which is fine. We got some more coming, but we don't have it yet. So, I'm going to do meatloaf, and I'll just tell you what I was gonna do with some of this burger here. So, I've got all of this leftover meat. Something I'm gonna do with it is on Fridays, football Fridays, we go to the football games. So about, my kids get off the bus about 4:30. So about 2 o'clock or so. So I don't have to babysit it. I like to just put some ravioli in a little crock pot so we can eat before we go, because I ain't paying for the $2 or $4 a slice of pizza at the football stadium. That's ridiculous. I could buy a whole pizza for $5 down at the Little Caesars. Gross, greasy pizza, but the kids like it. But, so I like to fill their bellies up before we go. So I will take a bag of ravioli, put the frozen ravioli in one of my gallon baggies, put some meat in there, and dump a jar of pasta sauce. This sounds easy. You don't really need to pre-freeze it, except I've already got my burger cooked, okay? And then if I do it that way, if I'm in town or if I'm working, Justin can just throw it in the crock pot, put it on low for like 2 hours. Don't have to babysit it or nothing. It's there. Justin doesn't have to really worry about cooking nothing. It's done. I don't have to worry about cooking nothing. It's done. I could take me an afternoon nap on Friday if I wanted to before the kids came home. So that's one of the ravioli things that I will make once I get the ravioli, because it's at the store. Hopefully it's at the store. You never know what the store's gonna have these days. And then I've got, what else do I have on here? Same thing with Sloppy Joe. So we call them sloppy dogs because we didn't have bread one time, but we had some leftover hot dog buns. So I pulled those out of the freezer and we used hot dog buns to have Sloppy Joe one day, and my baby girl called it Sloppy Dog. So that's just what we call it in our house now, is Sloppy Dog. I don't have no Sloppy Joe sauce. So same thing, I will use some of this meat, put it in a baggie with some onion, some Sloppy Joe sauce, and then also have the hot dog buns frozen next to it. So I can pull the hot dog buns out, the Sloppy Joe mix out, pop it frozen in the crock pot, cook it all day on low to get, it's already cooked, you know, you just want it thawed. So to get all thawed through, and then by the time dinner's ready in the crock pot, you got your hot dog buns will be thawed. There you go, there's dinner. Easy crock pot dinner. Sloppy dogs. Oh, let's see, something else that I was going to make, but haven't got the bread. It's at the store. I'm going to make it, but not today. Is French toast. French toast is so easy. Bread, egg, cinnamon, milk. You can fry it up, put it all into a baggie. You can pull it out. Gunnar can pull it out just like he pulls out the pancakes to eat, okay? Oh, that's about good for now. Some Salisbury steaks. I'm gonna get a bag of frozen burger patties and pour some brown gravy. This, you put however many patties you want to put into the baggie, make it some brown gravy, pour it over it, put some onion in it, put some mushrooms in it if you want some mushrooms. Amy don't like mushrooms, so I won't do that. Anyway, freeze those into a baggie. When you're ready to cook them, take the baggie out. Burgers, gravy, onion, all of it into the crock pot. Thawed or not thawed, I would do it from frozen because the patties, you don't want them to fall apart. Put it in the crock pot, let it cook all day. You got yourself some Salisbury steaks, make you some mashed potatoes on the side, pour that gravy over it. Yum. That is Amy's favorite meal. She used to call it the brown stuff because of the brown gravy. But now she can say Salisbury steak. So that sounds good. Now I'm going to get the rest of the meat that we have thawed. I've got it out in the fridge. And I'm going to mix that up and show y'all how I pre-make a meatloaf that you can cook in the crock pot all day. I do it frequently. All right, I've got 3 pounds of meat left, and this one right here is not labeled, and somebody gave it to us, and one thing he gave us was sausage, which was labeled, and it was, I think, in a different color. I don't know what color this is. Anyway, was sausage. This might be sausage, who knows. Anyway, we're gonna use it to make a meatloaf. Let's see. So we got some meat. We can use stuffing to make a meatloaf. We can use oatmeal to make a meatloaf, one or the other. You can use ketchup or you can use barbecue sauce. Today I'm using ketchup. I'm gonna put some nature seasons on here, and don't forget your egg. Oh, again, don't forget your onion. Good Lord. Don't forget the onion. All right. Let's start with moving everything out of my way. I'm gonna use this big old bowl because that's what I like. Just the big old bowl. So we're gonna start with the meat. Since I don't know if this is sausage or burger, I think I'll do 1.5 pounds of it. I think it's hamburger. I think it's not ham, it's deer, I know that. It smells like burger to me. Not sausage. Let me wash my hands. Got my meat masher too. All right. It's usually a pound of burger, a cup of oats. Since we got 1.5 pounds, let's do like a cup and a quarter, whatever you want. Ketchup till your heart's happy. Probably shake it down so you're not standing there making a big old mess. I don't really know how much. How much ketchup do they put in meatloaf? You can find a meatloaf recipe anywhere. I just do it until I feel better. Put some onion. I don't have a whole lot of onion left in here, but since I'm making 2 meatloafs, I want to use it sparingly. And bring this little scrap bowl over here. Couple eggs. Usually do 1 egg for 1 pound of meat when I make a meatloaf. I've got 1.5 pounds, so I'm just gonna do 2 eggs. You can't really do half an egg, can you? Did I season it already? I can't remember. If I did, I'll be fine. Break your egg up. Break your meat up. Mix it all together. I need to be a little taller to do this from my table. Did that annoy anybody? You're welcome. All right. This should slide right out of this bowl and into this baggie. Do not throw it on the floor, which I may have done accidentally once before. You don't have to worry about shaping it into a loaf right now because it's going into this baggie. This is where you can shape it. Okay? Rule of thumb, the whole baggie just fits down there evenly. But you can shape it kind of where the sides will not touch the bottom of the crock pot. I mean, the sides of the crock pot. And then it's just gonna freeze like this. Let me hop this out of my way. Get all your air out of it, roll it over is how I do it. Okay, I try not to smoosh it, smoosh. I'm tired, can't you tell? I try not to smoosh it too much. It's gonna go into the freezer, freeze kind of like a log like this. And then you can cut the baggie off of it and put it in the crock pot from frozen. Top it with some ketchup and call it good. Now, there's some oats left in here, but I don't really care. So I'm going to put the rest of this burger in here and we'll make a stuffing meatloaf. Now I've seen recipes that call to put a whole box of stuffing in the meatloaf with just 1 pound. And I did that once and I thought it came out way too dry, and I may have done something else wrong, but I have since then just used half a box of stuffing for 1 pound of meat, and it came out a lot better. So since we're gonna use 1.5 pounds, look at this, $14 worth of meat left in the corner of the bag. Ah! Anyway, we're gonna use 1.5 pounds, so we'll use a whole box. All right. Now these stuffing boxes have seasoning in it, which is why this makes a really good budget meal. Unless you're buying beef. Because if you're low on seasonings in your pantry or something like that, this stuffing has a lot of Oh, hang on. Stuffing has a lot of seasoning in it. Now, I'm using the turkey kind because that's what I had in my pantry. I actually think I had that from my Ibotta last year at Thanksgiving time, if y'all know what I'm talking about for Ibotta. I'm just gonna pull this off of here. I'm gonna get the rest of these onions. Put down in here. It's about dark outside. It's 8 o'clock. Onions, ketchup until your heart's happy. Probably a cup maybe. 1 pound of meat, 1 egg, 1 cup ketchup, 1 cup of breadcrumbs or oats or whatever you're using. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. However, it doesn't always work out that well for me. All right, we're gonna do 2 eggs because we did 1.5 pounds of meat. Look at this cucumber I didn't throw out. It's just sitting there saying, I can't be used no more. Some seasoning. A little bit because I want to, even though there's seasoning in the stuffing, it's fine. I'm gonna mix it up. Now, 1 pound meatloaf would feed my family of 4 just fine if I didn't have growing teenagers, growing children, if I had small children. It's all in how you slice it is what I learned. If you make yourself a loaf, slice it. Don't make it in a square pan and then slice it into squares because then everybody wants like 4 squares. But if you put it in slices, lay it down flat on the pan, on the plate, it looks like they've got more so they get full faster. I know that sounds crazy, but it's for real. I'm not kidding. Looks like it's gonna be a boatload of food. Yeah! You could use a spoon, but why do that when you could just be daring and see if you can just get it in the bag? Ta-da! Oh, I missed some. Oh my gosh. That one's like huge because that stuffing made it go a lot farther. So there's a good note to have. The stuffing makes your meatloaf go a lot farther. Have a much bigger meal if you're using a box of stuffing, which makes sense, right? The bread expands and whatnot, but that makes it not gluten-free, okay? Because the stuffing is not gluten-free unless you get gluten-free stuffing, which I think I've had once and had once. All right. I've done this so many times, I don't have to really put this in the crock pot. I just did that a minute ago to kind of show you guys, but take this out from frozen, put it in the crock pot, slap some ketchup on the top. I always, always, always put down a layer of water every time I make a crock pot meal, no matter if it's from frozen or fresh ingredients. I always put enough water in the bottom of my crock pot to cover the bottom of the crock pot. Why? I don't know, I just always have. I have like in my mind like it's gonna stick to the bottom or something. Probably not, but that's just what I do. So I put that water down and then set my meatloaf in it, put my ketchup on it, come back in 8 hours, heat a vegetable up to go with it, or saute a vegetable up to go with it, or whatever, some mashed potatoes and gravy. And there you go. Now my table is covered in food. So what I need to do is I'm gonna put this bowl of burger that I've got left up for a little while until I get the ravioli and stuff. I'll make some of that. And I also might freeze some to just have some baggies of pre-cooked burger. But that is what we've got. I'm gonna clean this up and then we'll set it all out and see what all we got made, kind of recap. All right, this is what we've got. I'm so hungry, I could eat all of this. Not kidding. Not kidding. So we've got our breakfast casseroles right here. I wrapped them individually in saran wrap and then put them in the baggie. Then our pancakes, which I just threw in the baggies. Some enchiladas, some tater tot casserole, taco soup, chicken and gravy, beef fajitas, meatloaf, shepherd's pie. I've got a lot more stuff, or not a lot more, a little more stuff that I'm gonna make. I've got that chicken chili right here. I'm going to make the raviolis, and I'll make some French toast also. That's probably about it for now. So I'm excited for school to start. I myself am returning to school this year. It's a little scary, but I'm going to. So anyway, we don't have to worry about the food for a little while. It's here. We can put it in the microwave. I'm tired. You can put it in the crock pot and it'll be fine. So the only thing with meal prepping is all of that I gotta clean up, but it'll be okay. I'm gonna get that cleaned up. I'm going to make some banana bread, which I'm excited to try with my ugly black bananas. So they're soft enough now and ripe enough now, overripe. Man, they're bad, but I'm gonna use them. And that'll be all. Thank y'all for watching. If you like this, give it a thumbs up. Give me a comment. Any suggestions? Kind of tell me what you guys meal prep or what you do for fall. If your kids take leftovers or if you make their lunches or whatever, just let me know. I'll see y'all in the comments. Thanks for watching.